Alright, boys, welcome to a long playthrough of a game that I came back to YouTube on after I made a review on it. Welcome to the beginners guide. You can see it on your screen right now. Hopefully, it's going to play fine. I've sorted out some video settings and whatnot, so we should be spot on. Got the face cam on today, just because this game is going to be pretty wham. So, sit back, relax, have your popcorn and whatnot. Let's go. I just bought this on Steam, by the way. I just downloaded it, so I don't want to hear any chat, alright? The audio is on. Don't worry. There'll be ASD and mouse.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide.
So,
My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way.
oh,
And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around.
okay, I'm really sorry. Don't think I turned on subtitles. I didn't, okay. Sorry. I just want to make sure you guys can get all the shit, so let's go.
The level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So,
What's with
it's
that golden
2008,
box?
Coda starts making these games.
Again, sorry. Are the subtitles even on? Or is it just not gonna work for me? Video is fine. Advanced options, yeah, it's all fine. I have no idea. Hopefully they just...
And he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again.
Right.
And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Oh, sick. Okay. Where are we?
Warning. Whisper machine action. Shift destruction
What the
imminent.
hell is a whisper machine? Oh,
This game is called Escape from Whisper,
Hey, sometimes.
and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Look at this one. This one looks more... Never mind. Okay, so if you remember, this is the game that I came back to YouTube on like full time. I made a review on this game, but I didn't play it myself. So I'm doing myself the justice here. And my anxiety is through the roof because of this, but hopefully we're fine, so let's go.
Security code breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
The bullets ricochet.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development.
Can't see shit.
For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
That makes sense.
Enemy
Okay,
force
that's
neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Well, it's just like it's like the opposite of a skybox, isn't it? So it's like a floor box, a ground box. I don't know. But what is this? It's like
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
why? It's meant to be there, isn't it? Okay, well I guess not.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting.
My gun's gone.
The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Shit. Oh.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
No.
It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives. Could you give yourself?
No. No, I guess so. Alright.
Let me pause here for a second.
It's a funny way to
What
die.
you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Oh shit, what? Wait, oh, do I have to do it again? Alright. Oh, I can fly. Oh, wait, was that the labyrinth? I could have easily solved that. Easily.
The beam causes you to start floating.
I've already worked it out.
And this is an important moment for him.
Jesus.
Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Shit. Okay, we got some sort of... The past was behind her.
Yep, in this game you can only walk backwards.
Oh. That's a cool concept. That makes sense as well. Okay, I guess I'm just walking in a straight line backwards.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more
Why does the
complete.
future keep changing?
Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. Something up there, careful. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength? I could open that door from here, surely. To confront it.
It's
Oh.
a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Yeah, but there were some games out there that take like time and I really enjoy them. Okay, what in the Slender? Oh, I'm just a walking light. Okay. Well, not going that way. You are now entering. I don't want to. I don't know what this is. I don't want to enter it though. Whatever it is. What am I entering?
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Yeah, I've got no idea.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
I assume I'm just walking up these steps. Wait, why am I slowing down?
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Wait, really? Enter? That's, isn't that just ruining his games though? That's kind of sad. Stand on an X, staring at a bear for 3 hours. You must address and rally a group of eager press reporters. A game of only posters and concert art showing what the
A
game is
room
intended to
that's
do.
warm and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
A stranger appears. You run a shop inside your own body, selling your organs strategically to make the most money before you die. Now, where have I heard that before?
Coda would often tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person,
Does work.
but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Yeah, but you know, such is life. A key in one game unlocks a door in a completely separate game. So wait, are those ideas for his games or just games in general? Ready, set, fish. Wait, is this a fishing game? No. Doesn't look like fishing to me. It looks fishy, that's what it looks like. And I am concerned. Okay, just making sure my microphone was working. I feel like sometimes the game overpowers the
Well, this is new for
microphone.
Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Is this a lever? Okay. Do I need to close it? Can I just... Can I do that? And then... I've locked myself in... Oh, is this for the other door?
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Why is this triple glory hole then? Okay, well that puzzle was not that hard. It helps I can't see anything in that darkness there. so annoying. Anyway. The music's really nice. It's really soothing. This is giving me like...
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough.
Yeah.
Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Wait, why would you... Oh, that's the... Oh my god. So I'm basically Jesus now. If you like the video game Jesus, can I go down here?
How about that? There was more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player.
You don't know
So
me.
if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Good question. Oh, I'm back to this again. Okay, am I going the same way? I assume so. I am now exiting. Ah.
Aha! So, this combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Just for the record, I'm really enjoying this, so if I don't talk sometimes, that's why. I love games with narrative. I've already said this before. The Great and Lonely Descent. Sounds like my life. This is my life. I just picture... Imagine having a fit girl in that house. Oh my god. Pause. It's November, boys. Don't nut.
Let's talk about video game development for a second.
Please.
Every video game runs on what's called an engine,
Yeah.
which determines what the game can and cannot do.
Unreal Engine 4.
So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
The Streetwise 4. Well, funny you mentioned game development.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source.
Valve Source.
Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah, so...
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
So I believe Source is the engine that... well, it's made by Valve, and they made a CSGO game from it. But I believe it's what Portal and Left 4 Dead and Half-Life run on. If not, it's a very similar concept, because this is giving me like really big Aperture Science vibes. But anyway, you mentioned game development. When I came back to YouTube at the same time, I wanted to get into Confetti College in Nottingham to be a video game coder, designer. So I would literally be doing this, but minus the art. I'd just be the code behind it, so like the walking, the jumping, the mouse movement, all that. I didn't get in. I make YouTube videos now, and I serve people drinks. I can't go in there? Peak. Okay, let's go. It does look very nice though. This coder is very good at making interiors. Oh. Orange boxes. I can parkour on these. I was gonna say, can I just jump on these? I assume that's the plan. I can't really go anywhere else anyway, so... Jump? Oh god, I had like the weirdest anxiety from that, I don't know why. Alright, let's keep going. Jesus Christ, that jump is so scary. Oh no. I fell. I think the game pushed me to this staircase. Okay, let's go down. What is this, a secret bunker? Jesus Christ. What was that? I'm getting like Slender Pages vibes from this. My wrist is aching a little bit. Need some wrist support for my gamer moments. What's that beeping noise? I guess I'm supposed to go in here. Oh, ah! I did not even know that. It's a lift. This looks like a prison, now that I think about it.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go. If you don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Could you actually wait in here for a whole hour? Would that do something? Probably.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in, and nothing else.
That sounds fun.
Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't.
Sounds like that wasn't, mate. Okay, well, we'll go downstairs again. Trying to find another prison inside a prison, 'cause from what this Coda guy's giving off, the vibe-wise, you never know. This does look impressive, though. Again, with this triple glory hole thing, I don't know what that is, but...
It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Why do I feel like it's not the exact same? Oh, it is. Okay.
There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
I mean, you've been showing your interpretation this whole time. I'm completely dumbfounded by the visuals. This game's running at 300 frames. It looks beautiful. It looks really nice. This is the first game that's actually ran on some good frames. You there? Did you come up from above?
Here,
What
Coda
was up
begins
there?
using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yes, there was yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. There were these floating colour blocks. That's the ward above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. Perfect. Now please tell us how you solved it. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I don't remember how I solved it. I'm trying to remember, but I can't. I didn't solve it. Someone else let me in. Trust me, you don't want to go there. What is this? Oh no, but I do. We do. We need to get there. Do you understand? It's the most important thing in the world. We have to escape this prison. There must be an ending. I promise you, there is nothing I want more. Okay, well, I didn't tell you. See you later, I guess. The old Minecraft blockheads. Wait, is it these guys again? How did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yes, do you want to know how to solve it? No, I've been right here this entire time. I suggest you go and see the puzzle sometime. It's not meant to be solved, but you can sit in the black space in the middle. What happens if I solve it? Not sure, but if I have any suspicion what you find won't be worth what it takes to get there. You'll have another chance to solve it soon. This is getting deep now. I feel like this is like Coda saying like there's a hidden meaning behind the puzzle that he's trying to find or get the players to find in his games. That's why he keeps bringing
And
it up
so
so
we
much.
make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
It's quite a long descent. Ah, Jeff the Killer or something just pops up out of nowhere. I'm so used to playing horror games now. I've been playing PS1 horror games my whole life recently. And Terraria expert mode. Oh god. Oh, that's a nice lamppost.
It's a lamppost. Okay, I can't tell you quite why, but for some reason Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, you know, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
I'm all for clear ideas. Oh, it just cuts off anyway. So I assume we're just going through all these games from 2009 to 2011. This game's connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. Or notes you see are left by other players. That's cool. Is it actually by other players or just... What's this reminds me of like, oh, what was that game called? PlayStation Home. That was it. Nice room, not. You're violating this guy.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're gonna see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. But
Balls.
feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
Hey guys, looking for someone to talk with.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him.
But
And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Your room. Do you hear the chimes? I feel that. I would like very much to be desired. Same. We all been there, bro. Welcome. Congratulations. I don't know where to go with this. Yeah. You can go in here, I think. Oh, and above. Okay, I'm not gonna read anymore. There's nothing to read. I'm just gonna keep going. Down my descent. I think I'm... This is not going anywhere. Don't go anywhere. You need someone to talk to, same. This is a note, I guess. Listen to the other notes. I listen to just your note. I'm not safe. Yeah, same. Join the club. That painting is both bizarre and cool. It was like a multiplayer game of Splatoon right there. Stop pretending you're other people. It's about how this game is pretentious and you all suck. Oof. Let me know if you're enjoying this, by the way. If you're new around here, please subscribe. You know, while I've got time for this guy to stop talking. Also, this is the same guy, the guy who's narrating the game, who made the Stanley Parable. I'm gonna play that on the channel.
At the end
as
of
well,
this
so
level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means.
escape.
Each of these
escape.
games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one. In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Help. This doesn't make sense. The second door won't open. Shit, how'd you solve it? Developer answers, please.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Was that second switch added in? Because the notes said that how'd you leave notes? Was that second switch left there? Because if so, that's weird. Oh, it's the lamppost again. Are you there? Please say something. It could be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak, 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 speak. Hi. May to June 2009. We're like, what, like 5 games in? Porn stars
Okay,
died
this one
too.
is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Hanging. Am I in a prison cell? Why is there a well outside? And what kind of prison is this? I can see the clip of another room. I'm going to the back rooms here. Oh, that's convenient. Alright, I'm off. Is this a prison or just an ensuite and I trap myself in a building somewhere? Intense music. Just thought I'd add that, you know. Boom, ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Oh, okay. This isn't sketchy at all.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Apologies. What the fuck? There's no furniture. Also, I'm convinced I just went into that. Well, what furniture ought to go in the center of the room? Put a giant hole in the ground. That is not what I asked for. It's a coffee table. What about along the wall of the room? Just get a picture of a huge horse. What? What? I think we should light up this room a bit. A skylight, 4 ceiling windows, open this baby up. I'm thinking 10, 12 recessed electric 6-inch soft LED ceiling lights with fluorescent trim. We'll put live Tesla coils in each corner. Yeah. There's already a table. Pretty sure none of my choices are making any difference. They're not, yeah, they're not. It's just a dresser. Help?
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
I'm just walking in parallels.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. Okay, I'm walking forward. Oh. This guy will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully, take care. Click on this table. Good, go over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. What photo frame? Oh. Turn the floor lamp in his room off and turn it back on. Where's the floor lamp? Oh. Go to the left side sofa and move it over a little. Touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Why would I return to prison? Is that a doormat? Return. Okay, sure. I forgot the order.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
That's smart. That is smart.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside.
That hurts my brain.
Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
So how is it a prison? Unless you're talking like metaphorical prisons. Also, I see that lamppost there. It's back once again. Let's go. Is that a phone booth or is that a TARDIS? Is that the 12th Doctor? That's not suspect. Okay, well, let's do it. Oh, I can't move. Hello, who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you after you escaped from prison. You're me? ... So you were trapped in this prison too? Yep, I
It's a
was in
conversation.
the reverse prison.
And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
I was in the reverse prison. That's where I am right now. But I'm so glad to know that I get out eventually. What's it like to escape? I'm already forgetting what being in a prison was like. It's strange, but in a way I kind of miss being in a prison. It feels like being completely still and wildly emotional at the same time. This is getting deep, and I'm into it. Some things I'm scared I'll get out and then... Oh, sometimes I get scared I'll get out and then things will be exactly the same as before. It actually does change. I don't feel like the same person at all. Oh, good. That's so nice to hear. That makes me feel really happy. Remember to enjoy being who you are right now. It won't last. Wait, if you're me then, did you get a call from another version of you when you were trapped? Yes, I did get a call. That's how I escaped. I did not click that one. Hey, can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? What you have to do is be sincere to get out. You need to tell me how you feel right now. To get out, just talk with me for a bit. You need to tell me how you feel right now. This is... Wow. What? That will free me? How does that work? It will make sense. I feel afraid that nothing will ever change. Go on.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, I wonder what that's like. Imagine being told your life's gonna be good. What a joker.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself?
I guess we're gonna find out. Where
To
are
me,
we in
this
Skyrim?
environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
I guess we go into the house. Oh, there's a person there. Hello. Hello, friend. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. I thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and right visible that would have been. Everyone knows loosened hands make lousy homes. And
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
This music is beautiful, by the way. Please play this song the whole game. It's beautiful. It's a nice bed. I want a bed like that. Do you enjoy being a home cleaner? Well, I don't enjoy it so much as I need it. While I'm working, I feel a kind of calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed any other way, it seems, which I guess is about all that matters. Oh, that and a tidy couch. Would you straighten the pillows on the sofa out there? Nice. So someone spilled a drink all over the couch. Maybe put that up. Was that you? You haven't left that table. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. I want that extra cheese, that stringy cheese. Lactose intolerant, not me. It's a myth. I'm joking, I do have that. No, it was stupid. Sorry, never mind. No, say it, man. Dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? I'm not a house cleaner, am I? I thought you were. The guy said it's clean. No need to be perfect, we're all just human. It's getting deeper. And there's still books scattered on the floor of the bedroom. So what you put them? I was gonna say the bookshelf looked a bit dodgy, but this song, mate.
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing.
Did these chores
It's
ever
the
end?
moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Whatever work you do, you have absolutely got to own it,
I know
otherwise
that
it
Kudo
owns
really
you.
liked this game. Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
When I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was gonna say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, it takes care of you. Huh? Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. There's a bit of truth to it, though. They're not wrong. Anyway, so housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Would you please clean up the books? Thanks. Do you want the rug doing as well? Doesn't look straight. These pillows all over the couch. are a
I'm
bit
glad he
nice.
made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
I'm glad too. Question.
But, of course, it can't last.
Oh.
The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive.
I guess. I was really enjoying that. The music as well. The music was so nice. I want to hear that song again. Hopefully it comes back in another game. It's a lamppost again.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move.
Yeah.
I really thought that was the point of it.
I thought so too. September 2009.
This one gets a bit goofy.
Why'd you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. Just no. You came here to be perfect. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. Oh, I've moved places. I want your friends, people in your life to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Right now, who do you think about that way in your own life? Who do you know who is so well developed as a person that they make you feel disgusted with yourself, compared to whom you feel useless, selfish, ungrateful? I tend to make you into that person. Perfection is within your grasp. The question is not how do we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly? This is easy. It is so easy. It is so easy.
About halfway through the game, the perspective shifts.
Being perfect is effortless. Oh my god. Kids should not follow their dreams.
And you play as the teacher. And suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are.
Being
Oh,
alone
and
must be
also you
awful.
can move around the classroom now.
Oh. If you're torturing yourself trying to find the right solutions for your life, you're not doing it right. What is that black hole doing there? Seek out only one thing. What is the easiest, simplest path forward? There is no truth. There is no path. Holy shit, you guys. Something's coming out of the back of the room. Look out. It's coming for you. It's going to destroy you.
I felt pretty hard for this one. I feel like it's one of the
Perfection.
most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human.
Yeah,
I think about this game a lot these days.
it's a good game. It's a funny game. January 2010. Moving up in the world.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one.
Oh,
That's
stage.
twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Oh god, it's giving me like really bad anxiety. Oh no, 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 no! I'm not acting. No. The performance is beginning. Please, places, please. What? You'll be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. Okay. Good, stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It's your dream to photograph animals professionally. She had one chance to learn something from her to gain something to succeed. Go on, say something to her. Hello. Just hello. Hello? That's it? That's not a conversation. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Do it again. Here are all of my hopes and dreams. Just say more in a sentence. No, that's not what I said to her. Oh, you're completely missing the tone of the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment, but I was confident. Maybe it's that you need a better feeling of the setting. There was a lot of people around us. Give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Did they bounce? Ooh. Talk to her again. I'm bouncing. You must have worked really hard to get where you are. You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. I didn't realise how important this was for me. I'll never get another opportunity like this again. Everyone was riding on this. What? I want to try something. Try stepping back from the stage. Oh god, the lamppost. What is it with this lamppost? I'm gonna stay by this. Okay, I'm gonna run away. Oh. That's not cool. Let's go this way. Okay, yes, this is now working. This
The
is what it
game
was
ends
like.
with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution, social anxiety, to fears of having to perform and having to chase success, the answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago, where it just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer. But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
God damn. Oh, we really jumped. This is not to 2011. Mobius trip. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Have I actually meant to close my eyes, or? I hope I'm blind. Something enormous just appeared on the radar. Whoa, it's a door. There's a pink guy up there. I want to go up there. Please tell me how to solve this. Go. I want to go up here. Hello. I can't keep making the. Oh, telling him the truth. The lamppost again.
Like I said, I
feel
was
it
getting
anymore.
concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then, even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
I assume Code is like an alias, like
His games are going to get
name.
more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
December 2010. I would have been 8 years old, or at least 28 years old, depending on what date Code made this game. Hello? Oh god. Ah! Cool. Where did this island come from? Oh, there's more. Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I talked to anyone. ... What's wrong? You look lost. I'm confused. When I try to create, I feel empty. I have nothing left to give to my work. I'm completely out of ideas. So this must be him, like, burning out. Dying inside. Oh no, what's happened? Did something change? There was a machine that kept me going and it stopped. I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me to start it again. This is deep, man. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. I need to see it to know why it stopped. I'm assuming this machine is going to be like a metaphor for Coda's like spirit.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
Here's the puzzle, what do you think?
From my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
By telling someone how to do the puzzle? Ha, that was so simple.
You can't talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Making games is effortless. Is someone crying? Oh, that feels wonderful. Why did I feel so awful when I said that? Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. When I make games, I feel completely energized.
Seeing this game at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Pain breezes effortlessly off me. I'm generally like...
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop. But it didn't stop.
I actually feel sad right now.
After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
I generally like want to cry. I feel like, cause that sequence there just broke me, because that's so relatable. Like, not on a game development level perspective. Like, I don't make games, but just the idea of like, you're just feeding yourself something you used to enjoy. What is you've turned it toxic, and you don't enjoy it, but you have to keep going. There's a machine that pushes you forward and forward. There's a soul. There's like a soul being ripped apart, and you just can't stop it. You have to keep going. Your spirit won't let you give it up. I think that's where the best games shine. Well, I'm glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. Intend to be quick. Very good, very nice. Just be warned, someone called the press and might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing that you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Okay, that is just going to set me off. My anxiety is going to go woo. But the machine itself is called Coda. Well, this is going to be interesting. What will be done to the machine? How did you capture the machine? I don't know. Stop. Just leave me alone. It's the machine.
And of course, it's the machine.
You stopped. You stopped feeding us. Your work was keeping us alive. Your work was keeping us healthy. Can you imagine what pain you put them through? It was only because of your creations that any of us could make it through every day. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? Jesus Christ, this is getting deep, man. You need to go out and apologize to them. You have to admit to the people that you allowed them to suffer. I've been so alone. Apologize for leaving me. I don't think he will. I have seen the thing you fear. Alright then, I'll apologize to the people on your behalf. God damn it, bro. The machine's just died out. So I'm assuming this is literally what I said like 2 minutes ago. This is Coda's spirit keeping him alive, and it's just shut down on him. Or they. I don't know. My friends, I have a troubling revelation. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. We will find a way to live without it. We do not need its games. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me. We will destroy everything that the machine has created. Oh, we're back on the stage. Okay. So what do we do? I have a gun. Can I shoot? Oh. No. I'll make sure your work dies here. I'll make sure you are known forever. No, this is really sad. The fact that Coda must have played this himself as well. Like themselves. I keep saying himself. Isn't that what you're scared of? Exposed to the view of others every day, forever?
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
Oh, not this room. I really like this room.
So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all is just to give him some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Mr. Machine again. Put down your weapon. No, do I have to shoot it? It's just really sad. Oh, it doesn't hurt her.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
I personally think it's just a bad idea to give him games.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower. And to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made. So let's take a look.
I think it's really bad off the bat to be modifying Coda's games. I feel like it's just... It's not toxic, but it's just kind of invasive, you know? So I don't know if this is Coda's game, or if it's been coded... If Coda made the game, obviously, but I don't know if... What was the guy's name? Davey. I don't know if Davey's changed it or not, so...
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
And I can't leave the room. What am I... So... Is this like the puzzle? Is this the door again? Oh. I didn't know, okay, it was dark. It's very dark on my screen. Alright, just leave me be. Is this the tower? Looks like Minecraft trapdoors if you think about it. Man, I've been tearing up for about half an hour in this game. You have no idea. You probably can't see it on the camera, but I've been on ropes.
This room actually has a maze in it.
It does.
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise, so the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played, it actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Again, that's what I mean. I get that this... Maybe Coda didn't put his games out publicly because he wanted himself to just make something for him. So for you to make modifications, like he's trusted you with his games. Like if I made a game and I gave it to a friend, I was like, hey, what do you think? I wouldn't go making bridges and modifying the game. Just play the game how it is, you know? It just seems invasive to me. That's just my perspective. Hey, it's the same walls in the Stanley Parable. Wonder where he got that from. Considering the guy himself is the main man behind both games. If you haven't played Stanley Parable, it's a great game.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze?
Again, with the housekeeping game, just leave it the way it is. It's the way he wanted to make it. I don't see why you're invading his work like that.
The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me, because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me, except a lot of my time. If I could have reached him during this time, then maybe I could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
151617. I mean, to be fair, no one's gonna guess that. At least not for a long time. By the time you do, you probably get bored. Oh, okay. Cool. There's that bridge again. I guess we keep ascending. See what happens. Do I go down here? I assume so. Eat. There's a door.
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door.
Let me
meaning
guess.
that it's literally impossible to solve from this side.
You can open
So
the door.
even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely, just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you.
I was
so
gonna say.
let me do that.
He's gonna open that door, isn't he? Yeah. Okay. Oh, it actually is on the other side.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I mean, I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't.
Oh, like the little, yeah. I wonder what that meant. Sorry, I'm just really invested in this right now. I'm just trying to understand what's going on.
I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left, and it felt somehow like I had failed.
That's the worst trait you can have. You can't put yourself in
Where did I
someone
screw
else. You can't compare yourself to other people. It doesn't work like that. Trust me, I've done that for so long and it just destroys people. Dear Davey, thank you for your interest in my games. I need to ask you not to speak to me anymore. Oh shit. Here we go.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I?
Just keep
Because
going.
of what I did.
I wonder
I
what
poisoned it for you.
I wonder what
I
time.
don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times whether you think I am making these games for you. Sorry, I thought he was going to keep talking. He keeps doing that whenever I'm trying to read one of these notes. So I apologize. You've so infected my personal space that
And
it's possible.
the people who played them, they treated me like I was important. They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
You infected my personal space that it's possible I begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere hidden between games. If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes? Giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing my games, stop adding lampposts to them? So it's Davey doing this, it's not Coda. Now that, I don't get that. Because that Coda metaphor was really good for the lamppost and...
And then you stopped, and I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
Would you simply let them be what they are? So, when I'm around you, I feel physically ill. You desperately need something and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just a part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize that this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. I do hope that one day it clicks and that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I am talking about, don't say anything. Jesus, okay, well, it's the same puzzle.
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work, is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is what's wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Shit, man. Jesus fucking Christ. This is the most relatable game. I don't even make games. It's a black screen. Oh, okay, reloading. Epilogue. Wow, really? That's an hour long. I paid nothing for this actually. It was on sale. I paid like, oh no, I paid for the Stanley Parable and this came with it for free, so we'll take it. I guess we're going this way. This is a nice train station. Whoa.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
It is like a disease, you're right. That's the worst part though. The fact that you have to succumb to that is just... It's painful, man. I'm the same. I used to be addicted to being complete, I guess. Just putting other people first. Like, prioritizing other people more than myself. And that's why I hand on heart wanted to make games for the same reason that Coda made games. I wanted to make projects that I would be passionate about, because truth be told, I don't really feel like I put anything out there in the world other than shit. I barely talk to anyone. I'm not popular. I mean, I'm trying to figure out if that's a good or bad thing. I have the most annoying and painful anxieties of ever. So many tendencies and thoughts and desires to just be better than what I am now. I came back to YouTube because I thought at the time I was good. I was good enough. My channel is, I would say, at its prime, but I believe we can keep going. But it's the thought of like, you have to feel something in someone else or something else to feel like you are worthy enough. I didn't see the door open, but at the end of the day, we all just want to be loved. You know, we're human, we're imperfect, but we can be perfect together. You know, it's cringe, some would say, but it's the truth. You know, especially after my outburst about a month ago on this channel, where I pretty much owned up to saying I wanted to give up again. I've just discovered that life is precious. You can't really let it go. I've lived every day wondering what I would be. I'm only 19 years old. I mean, I get really weird thoughts about what's going to happen when I die, when I get older. No point dwelling on that. Just do something that makes you happy. I mean, I'm making this video because I bought the game on Steam, the bundle. The first thing I thought of was, it's a new game for me. It's already been on my channel before. I never played the game before, but I thought I'd give you a live reaction to it, because most of the games that I play are so genuine that I can't just play them alone. But I'm not gonna go into that toxic habit of like, if I buy a game on Steam, it's going straight on my YouTube channel, because that's not the case. Because I've got Terraria. That, granted, I'm gonna play that as its own series soon, but the game, the playthrough that I'm going on is solely off camera. Spider-Man, I'm not doing a single minute of Spider-Man on my channel just because I want to enjoy that game. Same with Uncharted 4. I just bought Bugsnax as well. Portal 2, I still get to finish that. I did do a Portal 1 video, but it's never going to see the light of day. I just want to be the best, you know, but I also want to just be me, because being me is the best version of me that I can be. So sorry for the rant. It's just, this game has actually hit me. You probably can't see it on camera. I look dodgy, but I've been tearing up for about 40 minutes now, so I won't be surprised if it comes out of me at any point. Let's just get back to it. Let's go through the doors. But this is a really good game. I'm gonna leave a link to the Steam page down below.
Solution.
This is a nice place. Looks like that one mansion in GTA 5. It looks good.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons.
I can't really say he was wrong for making it, because most games, especially by independent developers, most games reflect who they are. So
even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
I don't hate you, Davey. I don't agree with some of the stuff that you've been doing with this guy's games, but it doesn't make you a bad person. It just bad decisions, you know. I can't see anything. Okay, my mouse just tapped out, so we're switching levels again. This looks dark. I thought the ground was rising then. But this song is so sad. I want the other song
If I
back.
knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
The worst part is I agree with him entirely. Everything that he's saying I thought or think every day. It's painful.
What now?
What now, Davey?
I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for, and so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Shit, man. Shit, bro. This just outlines the breakdown of the creative process. I said it in my last video. There's a burnout. There's a writer's block. Some of it hits harder than others. I feel like Davey sucked the life out of Coda. I feel like Davey himself was the machine. Or at least the guy who wanted the machine to work. I think Coda, if Coda was the machine, he stopped for his own sake, and Davey wanted more. It just wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't. But I hope Coda and Davey are both okay, as people. I hope they're doing well. This game came out a few years ago, but still, you can still burden someone to this day. I've got burdens over things that I did 7 years ago to people that I don't even talk to anymore, you know? So I'm not gonna out myself and say I was a bad person, but we all just make mistakes. No matter if you give private games out to public or anything. No, it's the thing from the first game. Well, the Whisper Machine, was that what it was called? God damn. This is gonna get me, man. Was that a thunderstorm? Lightning? Okay, it definitely is the thing from the first game. That thunderstorm's coming closer. That's a cool lighting effect, but it's blinding me. I guess we just do the same and just jump in. Yep. We're lifting. Once again. Oh. Wow. It's an endless maze. It doesn't even render in. I don't have any words. It's beautiful, but it's surreal, you know? wonder what else there is to do
Turn back,
for R.
turn back from this cave. You said, let
This
me
project would not be
prove
possible
that
without the
I'm brave. Let me keep going.
Oh my god.
But the cave goes for miles
Turn Back, written by Helena Heron,
and miles and miles.
performed by Helena Heron and Ryan Roth.
And you're so tired, but I know that you're strong. So turn back, turn back.
Wow. Wow. What a game. Honestly, that has put me on such an emotional overload. Wow. Now, off the bat, if you do enjoy videos like this where I play games that are more or less like not really catered to mainstream audiences or anything, please let me know. Checking OBS, we're all fine anyway, just want to make sure. Wow, that game was that was good. That was really good, man. That's I apologize. I'm actually gonna cry. Oh dear. Again, it just goes back to the point of like just be you, man. That's just how it is. You just gotta be yourself, because the best version of yourself that you can be is the one that you want to be. It's not what anyone else wants you to be. It's what you want. Now, that was a beautiful game. I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I did my review on it years ago when I came back to this channel, but playing it for the first time on camera, wow, it's a different experience. And my review has definitely changed since then. I empathize with Coda a lot more than I did before. However, Davy's perspective of all that, to me, I feel that was justified. I just hope that both of them are okay mentally, because that was a mentally taxing experience. I can't imagine what they must have gone through back then when they both played the games, when Coda made the games. I still don't agree with Davey writing the code in Coda's games, like changing solutions or adding solutions and bridges and stuff, but I guess for the sake of this playthrough, you kind of had to give me some sort of leeway, right? Because I can get through half of the levels. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this hour-long special, please leave a like on it. Let me know if you want to see more games like this or more gameplay styles like this with the face cam. Let me know if the face cam's alright and stuff as well. Sound quality, of all of that. I appreciate the feedback. Thank you for watching. I'm a Dark Knights. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. Peace out, guys.